Mm-hmm.
It is out of control. If you're not built up, that is one fight you don't want to go and pick.
Trust me, because I
Yeah.
picked a fight and I
The
lost.
first time we went out there.
I lost. I picked a fight with the witch doctors and I lost. I will never ever do that again.
You notice he said he lost because it wasn't the most high.
I lost. I went out there preaching what I thought was the truth, but I was blasting them left and right. I came back home. Immediately, I was sick. Immediately, I was throwing up white and yellow. It looked like, I don't even know what it looked like.
But you had a dream, the demons was holding
The
him,
demon was holding me and they were beating me
punching him in the
up.
belly.
And I woke up and my whole body was just aching.
I had a fever.
Why? Because I went to the Gad reservation running my mouth.
Didn't know what he was fighting.
Didn't know who I was coming up against. See, that's what I'm telling you all. You all do not know who you are fighting against. I don't care how much you think the Most High is protecting you. When you start running your mouth, that protection is gone. And the devil has the right to touch you. That's what happened to me. But guess what happened? I had an epiphany. I said, you know what? When I go back out there, I'm going to apologize to the witch doctors. I'm going to apologize to everybody who I offended. And the next time we went out there, I think it was 2 weeks, I grabbed that mic. First and foremost, I want to thank the Most High for bringing us out here, but I want to apologize for my actions the last time I was out here. I want to apologize to all the witch doctors, all the sharmas. I want to apologize to all of you all because I should not have came out here that way.
And come over here, we'll pray for you.
Come over here and we'll pray together. Witch came out,
Yeah.
stood out the door, then another couple came out. They were standing out at the door, but they didn't come over. But see, that thing was broken.
Yeah, you shot it.
That thing was broken. You don't know who you're fighting against until you...
Oh, the horses and cows came over.
Yeah, the horses and cows came over.
Wait, what?
We had like a couple of horses come over. This big old cow came
Every
over.
time Elder would preach, it would say,
All right, let's get to Psalms 55 and 20. Just a little side note on my life as a preacher on the Indian reservation. Oh, I got stories for you. Oh, we got stories. Psalms 55:20. Let's read.
He sent out his hand against his peace. He defiled his covenant.
He defiled his covenant. That's what they did when Edom got over here. They defiled their covenant. Thank you for allowing us to, showing us how to make maize and corn. I mean, maize and corn is the same thing. Bring up maize and vegetables and all that. Thank you for allowing us to survive these harsh winters. Now we're going to annihilate you. Now we're going to destroy you. Some tribes are not even in existence anymore because of what Edom did. Shabbalah. Shabbalah names affliction heard.
Are we able to pronounce their name
Why not?
in Hebrew? Okay.
That is Hebrew.
I mean, I'm talking about like what we read. Yeah.
What? I don't care what you do. Yes.
We have a question.
Sure.
Someone said, besides warriors, what is Gad known for?
Besides warriors, spiritual. Gad is very, very spiritual. Also, Gad knows the land. Nature. And Gad knows the land. True story. Fidel wanted to take me hunting.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, we're going to go up there to those mountains and we're going to get a buck. And I'm like, huh? I'm from the streets of Chicago. I'm not finna go. Yeah, you're gonna go hunting. Have faith. We're gonna have faith that we're gonna get a big buck. Like, nah, I'm not going hunting, bro.
Remember all the different trees was around?
Yeah.
He started telling us what they were good for.
He started telling us what all the good the trees that were just in this small area. That's good for that. That's good for that. That's good for that. So yeah, we're gonna need some Gadites when we embark on the wilderness. I'm praying Father send some. We had some, but it wasn't their time. All right, Simeon. So this is where the Most High set them up for Simeon.
Oh, man.
My life.
Let's go.
Look at the water.
Simeon is
Right. Esau got everything for himself.
So-called Dominicans. Okay, let's go to Genesis 29:33. Genesis chapter 29, verse 33. And let's read that.
And she conceived again and bore a son, and said, Surely the Most High Ahiah has heard that I am hated, and was given this one to me also. And she called his name Shamawan.
Okay, so the thing of it is that Leah dealt with a lot of insecurity. Leah dealt with a lot of self-hatred. And it was all stemming from her father. She didn't want to take the place of Rachel, but her father. Who's Rachel and Leah's fathers? What's his name? Anybody know? Laban. He put her up to that.
Yeah, they didn't want to do it.
They didn't want to do it. See, that's what I mean. That's what I mean, that a man can destroy his house. Laban destroyed Leah. She had 6 children, and she felt like those 6 children were not enough. A man will destroy his household if he is not operating in the spirit of the Most High. And I'm going to show you that later. Okay? Never mind. Did we read? Yeah, we read that. The traditional Yoruba religion and its Santeria, I guess that is, counterpart, can be found in many parts of the world today, including Cuba, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Panama, Colombia, Venezuela, United States, mostly in Cuba and Puerto Rico. Okay? And that stuff is very satanic. Very satanic. It's almost like voodoo.
What is?
What I just read. Let's go to this is the map of the Dominican Republic, and this is going to be a prophecy for not only Simeon, but for Levi as well. This is how we know Simeon and Levi are together, because they did some things together. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to Genesis 49:5. Somebody tell me, what did Simeon and Levi do?
Witchcraft.
They wasn't doing witchcraft.
Oh.
What did they do in the Bible?
Did they sell Joseph?
Oh, they went to
They killed somebody for sleeping with the sister.
Yeah.
For raping the sister.
That's what they did.
Okay. They did it exceedingly. That's what they did.
They
But
plotted
good.
about it.
Thank you. Genesis 49:5. Read.
Simeon and Levi are brethren. Instruments of cruelty are in their habitations.
All right. The vast majority of Dominican population are considered Catholic. However, the Creole religions of the Caribbean are practiced in secret. Or officially, many of the people who practice these Afro-Caribbean religions consider themselves Catholics as well. My mother knew somebody who practiced in that. And one day when I was a little boy, and I got delivered from it, one day when I was little, my mother took me to this place, right? Everybody was dressed in all white. No, I'm sorry, not everybody. The high priest or whomever he was dressed in all white. And they were doing these chants. And I'm sitting there like, whoa, look at this dude. His body was contorting. It looked like it was like a living snake. If you ever seen anybody and they walk and they're walking and it looks like a snake, this guy did not have any limbs in his body. It was like this. They got this chicken and they got a goat. And he started chanting stuff, chanting.
Oh, wait, please don't you.
As he's slicing the chicken in his hand. Just chanting stuff.
So
He grabs the goat. All this is with blood. Everybody's around him, including my mother, out there. If you know my mother, she jumped from religion to religion to religion. So he grabs this goat, he picks up this goat, and he starts chanting, and he starts stabbing the goat. Then he starts cutting the goat up. Then they had this pit, and they threw it all on this fire, the goat and the chicken.
we see anybody like that, like try to move, like moving like a snake, do we lay hands upon them?
Where is that at?
Somebody answer his question. If
No.
you see somebody who's moving like a snake, would you lay hands on them?
I'm a run.
You don't lay hands on anybody. You don't, because first of all, you don't know what you're dealing with. If somebody is walking and they're rolling like a snake, you do not go and run and I'm gonna lay hands on you. You don't know what spirit that is.
That's ignorance. It was a pastor.
You just say, Father, whatever they're dealing with, I pray that you remove it because that's not right.
It was a pastor who was praying for a woman, casting the spirit out of her. But the Most High did not ordain him to do that. He was messing with something that he wasn't supposed to be doing. The spirit attacked him. The next day he tried to get out the bed. He couldn't walk. He had to crawl. He was crawling for a couple of days until he had to go to the deliverance ministry. And the spirit was cast out of him. And the guy who did cast the spirit out of him told him that the Most High only ordained you to preach.
Not
Everybody is not ordained to cast demons out of people.
right,
You're just not.
right.
How did we end up doing it? Because I was in prayer on what is my family to do for the Most High. What is our assignment?
He didn't say singing.
I wanted to be I wanted
He
to
didn't
sing
say-
on the gospel sing.
He didn't say fixing food.
And I still believed in ghosts. I thought it was a
Hey, I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. Let's go to Lawe, which means join to me.
And what did they do?
What did who do?
They joined people to my stuff.
All right. Oh, see. One moment. All right. This is Haiti. Hard to believe, ain't it?
Man.
Hard to believe that that's Haiti. But see, with the so-called Haitians, the so-called West Indians, and the so-called blacks, we didn't get here from the Most High through the Spirit of the Most High on ships that the Most High ordained, like in 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, like the 10 tribes. We didn't get over here like that. We got over here in slave ships with chains and shackles. But at the same time, I mean, this is where Levi ended. They're really from West Africa. So-called Haitians. Okay? And let's go to Genesis 29:34. Wonderful story in the book of Jubilees on how Levi became the high priest. I think it's the book of Jubilees, and I believe it's the third, or no, it's later, Elder. I think it's like the 7th or 8th chapter on how Levi became the high priest. It was through Abraham. Let's go to Genesis 29:34 and let's read.
And she conceived again, and bare a son, and said, Now this time will my husband be joined unto me, because I have borne him 3 sons. Therefore was his name called Lawe.
So Leah had some issues going on. She had some issues going on. She needed deliverance, because those low self-esteem spirits had her giving baby after baby. And after each child, she says, now will my husband join me? Now will my husband love me? Now will my husband this? Now will my husband that? Not once did she say, the Most High is here. Leah had some real deep-rooted issues. But guess what? That didn't come from Leah. It came from her father. Her father set that up. Her father made her who she is today. Leah has some issues, because with every single child, as we're going to see, we're only at Levi, we're going to see every single child, she says almost the same thing. Will my husband be accepted? Will he accept me now? Men, be careful on how you raise your daughters. Let's go to Genesis 49:5 and 7. Genesis 49, verses 5 through 7. And let's read that.
Simeon and Levi are brethren. Instruments of cruelty are in their habitation.
So Simeon and Levi, the Dominicans and the Haitians, and they share an island. Okay, go ahead.
O my soul, come not thou into their secret, unto their assembly, mine honor. Be not thou united. For in their anger they slew a man, and in their self-will they dig down a wall. Cursed be their anger, for it was fierce, and their wrath, for it was cruel. I will divide them in Jacob, and scatter them in Israel.
One thing about so-called Haitians, Levi, they're very violent. So-called Haitians are very violent. You take them off, I mean, you basically declare war.
Real done.
But that came from their father, Levi. The Levites were commissioned to be the high priest of Israel. Let's go to the prophecy of Moses, Deuteronomy 33, 8 through 11. Moses was a Levi. Aaron was a Levi. Let's read.
And of Lawe he said, Let thy Thummim and thy Urim be with thy Holy One, whom thou didst prove at Massa, and with whom thou didst strive at the waters of Meribah, who said unto his father and to his mother, I have not seen him, neither did he acknowledge his brethren, nor knew his own children, for they have observed thy word and kept thy covenant.
All right, now let's go to verse 10. It's gone when Moses was given the prophetic message in Deuteronomy 33. Aaron is already dead. Moses now knows, because he probably read the book of Jubilees, and he knew that Abraham established Levi as the tribes, as the high priest. And he did something with Judah also, and said that the scepter, that the Savior is going to come through Judah. That's in Jubilees, and I think it's either the 7th, no, it's the 8th, 9th, or 10th chapter. All right? So Levi was established. Verse 11.
Bless, Lord, his substance, and accept the work of his hands. smite through the loins of them that rise against him, and of them that hate him, that they rise not again.
So he's giving a prophetic message to the so-called Haitians or the Levite priests. And he's telling them what to do with the law. That he shall teach Jacob the law, the judgments. The book of Leviticus is obviously from the book. It's Levi, law. All right? He said that his substance and accept the work of his hands, smite through the loins, and anybody that rises up against so-called Haitians are going to be destroyed. Yes, ma'am.
We have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Someone says, were they all high priests or some of them?
Some of them were high priests. Not all of Levi were high priests. Now, the thing of it is that the high priests had their job. Then there were people who were supposed to take care of the tabernacle, because there was no temple at this time. There were people who were supposed to take care of that. There were people who were designated to cook the food. There were people who would do this. They had different functions. Healing. They had different functions in the tribe of Levi. Okay, but all of the functions of the tribe of Levi was to continue to edify the other 11.
The people, yeah.
Okay? Wonderful question. Why do the Dominicans and Haitians hate each other so much? Because from Spain, Spanish, Dominicans. Haitians, they primarily speak French. And it's not real French like France. It's like, I don't know what it is. But that thing went on. The Dominicans were a little lighter, but that's only because of the rape from the Spaniards. The Haitians were darker. That whole house nigga, field nigga. House nigga, we got a nice house here, boss. We sick, boss? What's wrong with us, boss? What we gonna eat today, boss? The field nigga, I hate my master. I want to destroy my master. I can't stand my master. The house nigga always dressed nice, according to their standards. The field nigga was in tatters. Notes on the Levite tribe. Levite tribe were the high priests and they failed. They're still doing sacrifices today. They're so into voodoo, and a lot of people in Haiti are so bored, they're so poor that they're eating dirt cakes and oil. That's how poor they are.
Over there?
Haiti. Malachi 2, 1 through 9. But they did it to themselves. Just like all the other 12 did it to themselves. Let's go to Malachi chapter 2, verses 1 through 9. Let's read it.
And now, O ye priests, this commandment is for you.
Now, let me say something about this also. The book of Malachi, the majority of it is for the Levite priests. Okay? Unlearned Christianity, I'll have you go to Malachi 3. In fact, let's get a Bible open, one of you readers. Let's go to Malachi 3. Let's learn something on the way to learn something.
Got it.
Malachi 3, and I believe it starts with the storehouse. What scripture is that? 3:8. Let's start at Malachi 3:8. Let's read it.
Malachi chapter 3 verse 8.
Come on.
Will a man rob the Most High?
Let's go to verse 7. Let's go a verse up.
Malachi chapter 3 verse 7.
Come on.
Even from the days of our fathers, ye are gone away from mine ordinances.
Now, who could that possibly be? That couldn't be the Christian church. Christian church wasn't even established then. So how could this be talking about you? And especially since churches nowadays don't even go into the Old Testament, why are they tying this to you when it was the Levites that they were talking about? Come on.
Can we go back a little bit further if you don't mind? What chapters, what verse is that?
I wanted to go back a little further. I wanted to go where I wanted to go.
Is it in that verse 7? No, this is the one they used to put fear in people. Read that part. I'm
No,
sorry.
I'm messing with you. You still got 2 strikes.
This is how they.
I'm messing with
On the ass.
you. What is he doing?
Just read it.
It's verse 9.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, we're gonna get all that. Let's start from the top again. Malachi 3:7.
Malachi chapter 3 verse 7.
Come on.
Even from the days of your fathers, ye are gone away from mine ordinances,
You are gone away from my ordinances. Go ahead.
and have not kept them.
And have not kept them.
Return unto me.
Return unto me. What does that have to do with tithing?
No.
Return unto me. Go ahead.
And I will return unto you.
And I will return unto you. That's the Levite priest. The Levite priest fell. The Most High is saying, come back to me, my Levite priest, because I have established you. Come back to me. That's what the Levite priest is saying. Come on.
Return unto me, and I will return unto you, saith the Lord of hosts. But ye said, wherein shall we return?
He said, and where shall I return? Come on.
Will a man rob God?
Oh, here we go.
No, yeah.
Where's the offering plate?
What happened when you on time? You
Where's my offering plate? Come on.
Yeah,
Give me my offering. Come on, read that scripture. Come
Yet
on.
ye have robbed me.
Come on. Look
But
at you.
ye say,
Yeah. Come on.
wherein
Give me some
have,
more.
have we
Come on.
robbed thee?
Where have we robbed you?
That's what you get.
Where? It's talking about the Levite priests. Because the Levite priests, they would get the animals and they, ooh, this look good. Let's keep this to the side. Oh, look at that one. That one's throwing up. The eye just popped out. Let's sacrifice that to the Most High. Read.
In tithes and offerings.
Tithes and offering. If you understand the Old Testament, when it talks about tithe, it's talking about robbing. How can you rob Father? You can't rob Father. None of you are Levite priests. None of you are skimming off the top. None of you are taking the good corn and the good vegetables and sacrificing the wormy stuff to the Father. None of you are doing that. Read.
Ye are cursed with a curse, for ye have robbed me,
For ye have robbed me. Come on.
even this whole nation.
Even this whole nation.
Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in mine house, and prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts.
That's good enough. Let's get back to Malachi 2. I just wanted to show that because Malachi 3 is talking about Levites. It's not talking about you. So guess what, people on live stream? You've just been set free from tithing.
So only the Levites have it?
Verse 2, read.
If ye will not hear, and if ye will not lay it to heart, to give glory unto my name, saith Ahai of hosts, I will even send a curse upon you, and I will curse your blessings. Yea, I have cursed them already, because ye do not lay it to heart.
You do not lay it to heart. He's not talking about you, people. He's talking about the Levite priest. Verse 3.
Behold, I will corrupt your seed, and spread dung upon your faces.
Come on.
Even the dung of your solemn feast, and one shall take you away with it.
Oh, I think I'm going to use that for Christmas. I'm going to use that scripture for Christmas. Verse 4.
And ye shall know that I have sent this commandment unto you, that my covenant might be with Levi.
Might be with who?
Levi.
With who?
Levi.
With who?
Levi.
Christianity.
Levi.
Protestants.
Levi.
It's with Levi. It has nothing to do with you. Saying who?
Ahai of hosts.
Go ahead.
My covenant was with him of life and peace, and I gave them to him for the fear wherewith he feared me,
Come on.
and was afraid before my name.
Go ahead.
The law of truth was in his mouth,
Come on.
and iniquity was not found in his lips. He walked with me in peace and
Equity.
equity, and did not turn many away from iniquity.
Did not turn many away from sin. Verse 7.
For the priest's lips should keep knowledge.
Oh, it's on the priest lips. Who are the priests? Levi. Go ahead.
And they should seek the law at his mouth, for he is the messenger of Ahai of hosts.
Come on.
But ye are departed out of the way. Ye have caused many to stumble at the law. Ye have corrupted the covenant of Levi.
The covenant of who?
Levi.
The covenant of Levi. It's talking about Levi. Oh my goodness. Verse 9.
Therefore have I also made you contemptible and base before all the people, according as ye have not kept my ways, but have been partial in the law.
It's talking about Levi. We've just proved it. Of course, I proved it in the tithing teaching, but we just proved that this had nothing.
Actually left the Christian church, which still is a good thing, but they left the Christian church because of tithing, because it was so.
That's why. They sit up there, and I don't know what church doesn't throw Malachi 3:8.
Well, we was in a Christian church for 3 years, and every Sunday, right before the offering, the pastor's son read it. And I don't know why he needed to read it from the scripture. He thought he would know it by heart.
Give it and I'll give it back to you.
But see, if we went as a Christian to the second chapter, then we probably would have got kicked out because we would have asked.
Oh, yeah.
This is talking about Levi's. So, who's being cursed in Malachi 3?
Levi's.
Read your.
Shia, I thought it was Shia's.
Well, Paul wrote it.
Dang.
Oh, nice.
This is West Africa.
Told you Africa looked like that.
This is where we fled to, out of Israel. Okay?
How crazy is it of all of Africa, that's the place where we live? The most beautiful part.
Okay? Yahweh, so-called Negroes. Let's go to Genesis 39:5.
Cool.
Let's read.
And she conceived again, and bare a son. And she said, Now will I praise the Most High Ahiah. Therefore she called his name Yahweh, and left bearing.
And left bearing. Okay? Let's go to the prophecy, Genesis 49:8. And we have taught on this so many times. Let's go to Genesis 49:8. Let's read.
Yahweh, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thy enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee.
All right, let's skip over to Hebrews chapter 7, verse 14. All right, and let's read that.
For it is open, Shalaki, for it is openly evident that our Lord has risen out of Yahweh, as to which tribe Moses spoke nothing concerning priesthood.
All right, so Moses did not speak priesthood because Judah was not the priest.
Well, there was no J, so is it Judah or Judah?
No, it's Yahweh.
It's Yahweh.
Okay, so there was no priest. So Moses didn't concern priesthood towards them, but that changed. Let's go to Genesis 49:9. Let's read that. Come on.
Yahweh is a lion's whip. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down. He crouched, he couched as a lion and as an old lion. Who shall rouse him up?
Who shall rouse him up? Verse 10.
The scepter shall not depart from Yahweh, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be.
And we all know that Shiloh is
Yeshaya.
all right. This is the tribe where Yeshaya would come from. Drugs would used to pacify Judah. Projects were used to keep Judah quiet. Okay? Why are you hated so much? John 15:18.
Just thinking of that. Get out my head.
Let's read it.
If the world hate you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you.
All right. Edomites, of course, hate us. Edomites hate everybody. Let's go to Revelation 19:11. Okay, let's read that.
And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse. And he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True. And in righteousness he doth judge and make war.
He doth judge and make war. Right? Faithful and true is Yeshaya. Let's go to the Apocrypha in 2nd Ezra chapter 6 verse 9. And let's read that.
For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob the beginning of it that followeth.
So Jacob is the beginning, Esau is the end. Let's go to Isaiah 63 verses 1 through 3. And let's do a teach back. Read Isaiah 63, 1 through 3 and tell me what is that saying. Go ahead.
Who is this that cometh from Edom, with dyed garments from Bozrah? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat? I have trodden the winepress alone, and
Wonderful response. That's not it.
it's come from Genesis.
Yeshua is going to come and save us, and all his sins are going to be sprinkled on us. Well, not on us, but he's going
I
to.
didn't know Yeshua had sins.
No, not his sins. I meant our sins. He's going to save us from our sins. So
He's going to come?
He came. He's going to come again, though. When he
Okay.
comes again, he's going to wage war. But before he does that, upon his garment was stained, wasn't it? For us? For our sins?
What is this talking about?
Didn't it say the same thing in Genesis?
No, that's Revelation 3:9. That's Revelation 3.
Oh, Jews will be slaughtered.
What is it talking about?
Whom thy brethren shall praise.
I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. It's talking about two things here. You all kind of said it. What is Isaiah 63, 1 through 3 saying? It's saying two things.
The end of days.
What? I mean, you all kind of said it, but you all are like sparching all over the place.
It's called.
It's not the great day of the Lord.
It's talking about.
Wine and in his clothes and the blood of grapes. His eyes shall be written on.
No, his eyes are red because of sin.
Yeah, 'cause
Blood of his garments. Come
the veil,
on, people.
The veil ripping? No.
The veil ripping.
He gonna come back and bust his
I'm glad
head.
you said something. No, he's not going to come back busting heads. What is it talking about?
Innocent people that died.
What happened to Yeshua when he went to trial?
That's from when he was beaten and his clothes.
He was scourged, right? What happened to his body what happened to that when he was scourged?
He bled.
He bled.
All over his
Right?
clothing.
His garments. We have to go to Isaiah 53.
Yes.
Let's go to Isaiah 53. Let's go to Isaiah 53. This is talking about not only what happened on the cross, but the second coming as well. This is what it's talking about. What happened at the cross, how he redeemed us from sin, but also if you look at verse 3, that hasn't happened yet. The second part, for it says, I will tread them in mine anger. That hasn't happened yet. Trample them in my fury. That hasn't happened yet. And their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments. That hasn't happened yet.
He's gonna be stained with the blood of the ones.
But what has happened is my apparel, red in thine apparel, and the garments treaded in the wine fat. That means blood.
And he's going to do it to Edom.
Right, Isaiah 53, 1.
Who has Isaiah 53:1? Who have believed our report, and to whom is the arm of the Lord revealed?
2.
For he shall shall grow up before him as a tender plant, and as a root out of a dry ground.
It's talking about Yeshua coming up. 3. Verse 3.
He is despised and rejected of men,
He's despised and rejected of men. Come on.
a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief, and we hid as it were our faces from him.
We hid. Right there in verse 3. I have trodden the winepress alone, and the people there was none with me. Go ahead.
He was despised, and we esteemed him not.
Come on.
Verse 4. Surely he hath borne our griefs and carried our sorrows, yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of God,
and afflicted. Come on. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
but he was wounded for our transgressions.
That's the blood of that's the garments that tread him with the wine fat. Go ahead.
He was bruised for our iniquities.
Come on.
The chastisement of our peace was upon him,
Yep.
and with his stripes we are healed.
There you go. Line upon line, precept upon precept. Here a little, there a little. Understanding the word of the Most High. We're going to learn a lot about Isaiah 53 next week with the bread of life. Benjamin.